All right, I'm about to go back out there, and as you can see here, it shows minus 29 on the weather station. For today, it's now 8:21, so the car had about 40 minutes to preheat, which is desperately needed in this cold. So let's get out there. It's a beautiful day. The sun's coming up on the hill, on the mountain, making the mountain look a little pink. And well, we got it preheated some. There we go. Whoa! It doesn't bend. Okay. The cable is frozen solid. Holy moly. Now we got a little frost here too, even though we preheated already. So let's see. All right, software updates left and right. So here we go. It's showing minus 20 now in the car, but remember the car is sheltered and has some of its own heat, so I expect that to drop. Let's look at this here real quick. Or maybe not. Where is it? Blue? Huh. Okay, regenerative braking reduced. Yes, that is fine. But where's this? What the heck? There we go. So snowflake's gone. The blue's gone. So that's not bad. And we are at, let's see here, 80%. So yeah, now we'll drive this thing to Missoula and we'll see how it does. And the wiper goes crazy. Let's turn this off here. So I keep the wipers in service mode in the winter time, and so what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to clean out the wheel wells a little bit, by the way. Trying to lose some of that ice. Oh, there went a chunk, I could hear it. Yep, there's a chunk laying back there on the driveway. All right, let's put it in reverse real quick. Do the same thing. There we go. So that should help get some of the ice out of the wheel wells. Anyway, service mode on the wipers. That's what you want to do in the wintertime. That is one of... Oh, the road is a little rough. That's one of the advantages of Teslas. So, with some cars you can flip your wipers up so they're no longer on the windshield, so they don't freeze to the windshield. But many cars you can't. And they're so low on the windshield, and with many cars that area is not heated, so they will freeze to your windshield, and that's pretty bad. Obviously that can create damage. It's not just that they may be just stuck, that can damage the motor, the linkage, the blades, all kinds of different stuff. So if you put on the Tesla, when you come home, you go into service, so you press your controls button, that little car icon on the bottom left of the screen, go to service, and then you hit service wiper service mode, and that brings the blades up about halfway or so. And then when you preheat your car, if they're frozen to the windshield, but then you preheat your car, then they will defrost real easy because they're in the middle of the windshield where the heat will be. So, and the time, since we can't flip up the blades, service mode is the way to go on a Tesla. Beautiful day today. Okay, now let me show you when I was telling you about this residual heat, so you can, oh, it's a little bumpy here, this road. Right there, up there we go. It already dropped to minus 27 here. So now it's by driving we are getting that residual heat out where that temperature sensor is. So whenever you get in the car, that temperature may be inaccurate until you drive. Once you start driving, the temperature will become more accurate, and so that's what's happening here, and it shows minus 27 now. And yep, so there we go. Oh, excuse me. But it's a beautiful day out. Beautiful. Oh, there went a huge chunk of ice out of the wheel well again as we're rattling down the road here. But no problem driving whatsoever. Actually, it shows low tire pressure, and that's because it's so extra cold. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. It looks foggy here. Right down here on the right hand side is the creek, and it's nicely frozen, but there's some open water, and that's why it's foggy here. That's creating the fog, but it makes it look beautiful. So anyway, tire pressure. Let's see if I can get the camera down here. I haven't had anybody on the road here yet this morning. Haven't seen anybody. So you can see right there we got a tire pressure. We tap this and I'll show here the pressure, and you see 40, 40, 40, 40. And it's funny, it always does that weird thing on a Tesla, and people are very concerned. Don't be concerned which one's showing you're showing amber or orange, whatever you want to call it, and which ones are black. Just look at the pressures, and mostly the one pressure will be low. Sometimes it's just a PSI low. Sometimes it will pop up after a certain time of driving and it will show the correct pressure, but after a certain time of driving the pressure needs to be higher, because basically we're looking at cold pressure. So I think this one just came up to 41, and that's just from driving about a mile and a half right now. So if you see the correct pressure after more than a mile or 2 miles of driving, then your pressure is actually too low, because it's supposed to be cold measured. Cold means before the car is driven. So because it is, well, 27 below 0 Fahrenheit, that means the pressure in the tire drops. That is just normal. That's what it is. I don't remember. For every degree Fahrenheit, it's a PSI or 2, or I don't remember what it is exactly. But it drops very rapid. So yeah, I don't remember how much it drops. If you know how much it drops per degree, let me know in the comments down below. I used to know, but I don't remember now. But anyway, so for right now we have tire pressure that's too low, but that's not really a concern at this point. As we're driving, it will warm up a little bit. It should go higher, but this is just probably today. Let me put this camera back up here so you get to see something nice. So this is just today. I think that we have this cold coming through. I believe the high today is like 0 degrees. 0 degrees Fahrenheit, okay, not Celsius. So and then tomorrow it will start warming up again. So I don't think I'm gonna increase the tire pressure for today. Lower tire pressure will decrease my range a little bit. That's just how it is. If you would go on a road trip and you know, go several hundred miles, you may want to consider increasing tire pressure for road conditions. conditions like this or cold like this, especially if on your road trip it stays cold like that. If you're driving towards warm and you go 50 miles and it's warmer there already, 10-15 degrees, then obviously you wouldn't necessarily increase the pressure, because you know, the warmer it gets, the more your tires will warm up too. And so here we go. I hope you can see that there. Minus 28. So now you can see that the weather station was correct. The weather station is correct always, because its temperature sensor sits out in the open and it gets the accurate temperature, while these in the car here are sheltered and they get some residual heat from the battery pack that's kept usually above freezing. It's not kept warm or hot or anywhere near ready to supercharge or anything, or DC fast charge. Most of the time these battery packs are just kept right at about freezing, maybe a few degrees above, so maybe 40 degrees, which would be like 4 degrees Celsius. So really not kept hot or anything. And it's a beautiful day, as you can see. So we're a little bit in, and I forgot to reset the trip meter again, didn't I? Well, we're looking at the since last charge, and currently we're running at 547 watt hours per mile, and this is huge. We drove 4 miles and already used 2 kilowatt hours. So it is cold out, and my seat heat is set to automatic and it's burning up my butt. It's still on 3. It's trying to keep me warm with the seat heat rather than using more cabin heat, because cabin heat comes at a huge cost in this car here. So this car here has a PTC heater, just like the Chevy Bolt does, just like our Model S does. They all have PTC heaters now. Most newer cars, not the Chevy Bolts by the way, but most other newer cars have a heat pump, and they are more efficient. So, but yep, anyway, actually we gotta set the blower up a little higher here. It's fogging my driver's window up. So, but so far so good. Oh, there's a little snow there, gotta get around it. Beautiful day, beautiful day. The first car I see today. I guess everybody is staying home. Most people are probably off for the holidays anyway at this point. So, yep, we're about to get to the interstate. So far, we haven't had any issues. I can see here the restriction on regeneration is about 50%. And that's not too bad. By the way, my regen is always set to the highest possible setting in every electric car we drive, okay? Even with these road conditions here, you need to have good snow tires, studless snow tires, like a Bridgestone Blizzak, a Michelin X Ice, and currently we're trying a new tire here. Actually, it's new to us. It's the Pirelli Sato Zero, and it performs pretty darn good too. And so your regeneration actually has ABS, if you want to call it that. So if your wheels would lock up, regen would drop to 0. If the car recognizes 0 regeneration, it will disable regeneration, okay? But people say, well, the wheels always lock up on regen. Well, they also lock up when you step on the brakes, and then your ABS kicks in, unless you're going below 5 miles an hour. And that's the same thing with regen. Below 5 miles an hour, you actually want to stop. So that's what the car is looking for. So it's no longer applying the ABS, and otherwise you couldn't stop. I mean, if it would apply ABS, you could never stop, right? Because it would never lock up the wheels. So same thing with Regen. If you're on single pedal driving, what it's looking for is to stop, and you can easily control that with your accelerator pedal. Okay, this is really easy to control, and a lot of people say, oh no, there's not enough room. Well, guess what? I know you can drive 1 mile per hour or 1 kilometer per hour, which is even less than 1 mile per hour. It is possible to do. You can do it because you're doing it quite frequently, like backing up or driving into a garage or into a parking spot. You're going really, really slow. And if you can go really, really slow, that means you can control your Regen, no problem. And you don't have to look at the screen and look for the Regen and trying to find your neutral point. That's not what it is. You drive and you look at the road and you just use your accelerator pedal to achieve what you need to achieve. So you can slow down or speed up just using your accelerator pedal on single driving. Okay, if your Regen locks up when you want to stop, guess what? Your brakes would lock up the same exact way. There is no difference. So if it locks up on Regen and you're sliding, that is the same way if you would not have Regen and you would step on the brake to stop. Okay, which basically means you have no traction, which means your tires are not good enough for what you're doing, or you're going too fast for what you're doing. Okay, that's what it comes down to. So first thing, the tire gives you the traction, so you gotta have good snow tires to do this here. We got ice here, we got snow here, but we never had issues with our tires. They do great, so that is the most important thing. And we always drive single pedal with the highest Regen setting possible. Anyway, we're coming out of the valley here. We're about 7 miles or so into the trip. Oh, it's such a beautiful day. Oh man, I can see the mountains there, and it's beautiful. So we're going around a pretty slick turn here. I don't know if you can see the delineators. They're all knocked over. Some of them get knocked over by the snowplow when the snowplow comes by and some chunk of ice hits them, and some of them get knocked over by people running over them. We're coming down to the interstate. There's a little fog on the other side of the interstate because that's where the river is. It's really beautiful, and no traffic on the interstate. People are staying home today, so I'm pretty sure I didn't watch the news in a while. They got bad news anyway. So here we go, we're getting on a little slick here. Let's see if we can give it a little bit. Yoo-hoo, there we go. But oh hell, we're just taking off. Traction control comes on because I'm giving it a little bit here, but no problem. 60 miles an hour already. Let's get on here. Perfect. All right, so we're on the interstate. We're at 74%. Let's go look at the trips. So we drove 8 miles, used 4 kilowatt hours. We're at 557 it showed there still. It just dropped to 554, 553. So driving in on snow-covered road, and the truckers are out. There's a car up there. So anyway, driving on snow-covered road kills your range, okay? A lot of people say snow tires or studdless snow tires or snow tires, anyway, winter tires kill your range. They don't. That is barely noticeable. What kills the range are the road conditions, as you have to push through the snow. I mean, if you walked on snow before, you know that it's hard to walk through deep snow. You know it's hard to walk on a slick surface. You're kind of spinning out when you're walking. Same thing for the car, so we're wasting energy. It's really not the tires that cost you anything. That is really not noticeable. Oh, beautiful day out. All right, so Gonna get to town here, and it is now that we're out of the valley. The valley always gets a little colder. Well, let me show you. So we're out of the valley. It just dropped to, or went up to -22. It was at -23. Now it's -22. It's getting warmer, and it's beautiful out here. Got the sun coming out. Beautiful, beautiful. Super nice day. So I'll drive to town, and well, I'll check back in when I get to town, unless something else happens. All right, look at this. Autopilot speed limited due to poor visibility, and the wipers going crazy. I see many posts about that on, oh, take whatever car, Jesus, holy moly. So I see lots of posts about the wipers going in the middle of nowhere, and they show a picture and the sun's shining directly into their face like this right now, and that's what triggers the freaking wiper all the time. Doesn't matter if it's cold or hot. I have that in the summertime, I have it in the wintertime. When the sun shines into the camera like this, for some reason it just always triggers the wipers. So yeah, it is what it is, and that's just, yeah, what I did. I turned it off. Okay, I mean, the autopilot went crazy too, because it can't see anything. It thinks, oh my god, the world ends. So well, Mr. Elon, your autopilot don't work when the sun faces the car right on. So anyway, but hey, I turned my Lyft app on, and I got one. Wow, and now I couldn't even turn the Uber off, and already got an Uber request. I guess there's nobody out there this morning. Whoa, 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 what's going on up here? Uh-oh, got a truck here. Let's pull over. He is halfway off the road. He's crawling up. Ah, hell, I don't know. This little hill here is kind of slippery and slick all the time. I would assume he possibly spun out and well, then slowed down after spinning out. So anyway, yeah, I guess I got so I just turned the Uber off, and let's go get that person from Lyft. Well, we're still like 20 minutes away. Holy moly, we were picking up a guy 15 miles away while we're still ways out of town. Yeah, nobody out there on this beautiful morning. By the way, we're going here about, what, 76 miles an hour right now. The speed limit is 80 here in Montana. Road conditions are pretty darn good here. I'm very familiar with this interstate. Like I said, the hill back there where the truck was crawling up, that is a very slick area there all the time. When I came up that hill yesterday, I could feel this car actually here, I could feel it lost a little traction there. But yeah, no big deal. With good tires, you get plenty of notice. With bad tires, you just wipe out. So that's why you want good tires. Then you can start feeling it and correct at that point. With bad tires, you don't get a feel, you just wipe out. So anyway, well, I'll let you know in case something super interesting happens here. We're at 66%. We drove 19 miles so far, used 10 kilowatt hours. We're at 510 watt hours per mile. The seat heater is cooking my butt. Holy moly, it's still on 3. I cranked the heat up from 71 to 74. Gotta make it a little warm in here for my passenger. All right, I'll check back in later. Okay, time for a little update real quick. It is minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit right now. We are basically in town. And, oh, what the heck? Come on, get going up here. So yeah, we're about in town. Still about 8 miles from my Lyft pickup that I need to, the person I need to go get. Road conditions pretty good here on the interstate. I suspect in town pretty bad. The sun is right in my face. It's hard to drive like that. I gotta keep my head high, so because the sun's low on the horizon, and I gotta keep my head up so the sun visor will actually protect me a little bit. Forgot my shades. Who would think about shades, right, at minus 20 degrees? So yeah, it's minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit here in Missoula. Still a beautiful day. And I'll check back in maybe after the Lyft ride, unless something really cool happens. Okay, I'm in town. Shows minus 16 degrees here on the car, which I think matches about what the official temperature is for Missoula. But we got high winds right here in this area, and the wind chill is reported at minus 44 degrees here, so you don't want to be outside at all at minus 44. Yeah, it's eating you up alive. So I'm pretty good dressed. The only thing exposed is basically my face, but I probably will have to get out and let that person in the car, because the Model 3 door handles are probably frozen, right? This is one of those stupid things with those door handles. Yeah, not much traffic here in town. Gotta get over here. Not much traffic here. It's usually way busier than this. And yeah, we're already down to 57%. So the heat is eating up our range. But hell, that's all right. We got a supercharger in town if we need to. There's a level 2 somewhere here in town we can get to. So not a big deal, but a little chilly out there. I was just parked for a little bit and waiting for a ride. Went to the bathroom there, and hope you can see this here. Regen completely gone. Completely gone. The blue snowflake was back already for a while, because driving in town just doesn't generate any excess heat of any kind going slow. But yeah, then I was just parked for like 10 minutes or so, and Regen is completely gone all of a sudden. When I stopped, it was maybe 1/3 restricted. So I had 2/3 available, and a few minutes later, nothing's available anymore. It is a little chilly out there. I hope you can see that. It's minus 13, and it is now 10:20. So yeah, but it's a beautiful day actually. It warms up the car nicely with the sun here. It is windy though. I mean, that wind chill is a killer. So I'm on my way to the next Lyft pickup. We're doing good today on Lyft. I got two $75 bonus and a $1 bonus. And because I'm doing so good today, this is my 4th ride. I actually will have 10 rides on Lyft this week. That's a new record. And 10 rides unlocks $25. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. Getting $25 without trying, so that's always a good thing. It is 12. It's noon. Still minus 5 degrees Fahrenheit. I still got a frosty snowflake there, and it's showing 16%, which is not really true. So if we actually let's see here, let's bring the battery screen up, you may be able to see that little blue line right there. So we actually have more. We have a few percent more, so we probably have around 20, I would guess, 18 to 20%. I haven't had any Regen it's interesting. Actually, right now it shows as if Regen's available. Let's try that real quick. Oh yeah, now it all of a sudden is there again. That's funny. It hasn't been there for all morning, basically. Also, we have a little power limit. You can see the dots below the battery thing there, or above the speed limit thing. It's just because it's so nice and cold. And driving in town, let me put this back up here. Driving in town, going slow, no hard accelerations, nothing. That just doesn't warm up the motors. That's all driving, going very efficient. It doesn't warm up the battery. We have no losses in the battery. So, well, there's just no heat generated. So now all that said, I think I'm going back home, since we're about 16% showing, about 20%. That's about what I need to get home safely in these cold temperatures. So now it dropped to -6. So, yeah, so I'm going back home. I'm done for today, since I did not really plan on driving today. If I actually would have planned on it, what I would have done is I would have scheduled the departure so that the car would charge right up to the departure time, and it will preheat as well for departure. And since I haven't done that, it took a little more energy while driving to keep everything warm and so on and so forth. But with a good preheat and everything, you can eliminate a lot of that. So that's the key for cold weather driving. While you're plugged in, precondition the battery, you can't really choose to precondition the battery, but precondition the cabin. That in general will precondition the battery, because the car will know that you're going somewhere. So with the Tesla here, with the Model 3, it does really not do any actual battery heating while driving slowly like this. The Chevy Bolt would do battery heating and keep it at a certain temperature. So there's a couple differences from one to another vehicle, but yeah, our Model S would also do some battery preheating once in a while. If you want to preheat or warm up the battery in the Tesla, you can navigate to a supercharger, and that will actually start warming up the battery. So yeah, like I said, I was going without Regen this morning. Basically all morning long I had no Regen, so I've been using the brakes, which that's no big deal. I could have chosen the brake blending. Then it would just use the brakes, and it would just feel like I have Regen. But I just chose to drive different, and I was aware that I have no Regen, and so I was just coasting very early on, coming to a stop. I was never really going slow, or not going slow. I was never going fast anyway. I was always going slow, so it was no big deal. And yeah, road conditions, actually that's gotten really slick. Oh, now it's -7. Temperature keeps dropping. So anyway, road conditions gotten basically worse. With the sun out, the sun kind of melts that top layer off as it shines on the road. And then that top layer gets kind of slushy-ish, but it freezes right away again. So it's basically building ice. And that's especially at the stops, the red lights. And so when you have to stop, you have higher friction as people are stopping and starting, and that adds some warmth to it, and your warm tires add some warmth to it, and that makes it super slick at the lights and stops everywhere. So I've seen actually a couple people that bumped into each other. So road conditions kind of suck at this point. Here, right here, it's not too bad. This road has been relatively dry already, but the side roads, the residential streets that are just so, it's super slick there. So, but yeah, I'm getting out of town, going home here. Gotta watch out. Now I got Regen again all of a sudden. That's funny. Just after shutting the car down, it came back on. But yeah, so I'll check back in when I get home. We are at 15% right now. I can actually do the navigation real quick and see what it predicts for getting home. Let's see here. It predicts arriving at home with 1%, and it says stay below 65 miles per hour to reach destination. And so we're at 15, but like I said, the 15 are not real. And as we're going faster speeds, it will warm up a little bit, and I will gain some of that battery back that's there. So that may just even out, and I may even get there with 2% or something. So no big deal. If nothing else, yeah, we can always go a little slower. So yeah, 1% arrival is predicted. I could go to the supercharger here, I guess, and put a little juice in there, but that costs money, and I'm cheap. It's cheaper at home. So I'm heading for home, and then I'll check back in with you when I get home. Those people over there had a flat. That sucks. It is minus 9 degrees Fahrenheit out, and I would hate to change a tire with those temperatures. Anyway, in the meantime, we're down to 7%. We got 13 miles to go. Car initially said go below 65. Shortly after that it says below 60. Then it said go below 55. So I decided to kind of follow that suggestion from the car. So currently we're going 53 miles an hour. With the road conditions, that's not too bad. We don't have to fight any snow here really. So and it still shows 1% estimated arrival. So we'll see. I guess we'll make it. I might go a little bit slower here for the last. We got about 4.5 miles to go on the interstate. Just go a little bit slower because the speed here is definitely killing the range. If I drop that to 50, that would definitely help. Then after I get off the interstate, it's a 35 mile an hour speed limit anyway, but road conditions will be different. We'll have to drive through snow covered road, so that will use some, but it seems like now I got 6% and 11 miles, so I'm doing all right, I guess, but I'm not the fastest right now. Actually now the car says stay below 50 miles an hour. Let's do that. We'll just slow down a little bit more here. There we go. Now the car is happy, and it still shows 1%. I mean, it would really suck to get stuck at -9 out here, so I kind of want to play it somewhat safe. So, but yeah, -9, it shows 6%. I still have a snowflake there next to the battery, so there's a little more than 6%, but well, all right, interesting stuff. We dropped down to 3% going over the hill. Was able to regen coming back, up to 4% going down the hill, and so now we're gotta go up the road. There's another 5.2 miles to go. We're at 3%. The car predicts 0% arrival. We're going 30 miles an hour. Oh, the road is rough right here, holy moly. So but But yeah, we're not rolling very freely on a surface like this here. So we'll see. I still got the blue snowflake showing. There is still a little blue there in the battery that actually will bring me up to, well, over 5. Alright, the battery died. Well, I'm back in business now. You probably see it's a little foggy. I turned the heater off, but we stayed at 3%, and so far that is a good sign. We got 3.6 miles to go. It still predicts 0, but without the heat here, or at least a little airflow of sorts, it's not good. So I'm gonna set it down to 60, and we'll blow a little air up to the window, so we're not gonna completely fog in. Going 30 miles an hour, which is not too bad. There's a car quite a ways behind me. They're not going faster either. They're not catching up. There we go. We can see a little bit again. Still got 2%, so 3.2 miles to go. Oh, actually now it shows home arrival with 1%. So we're doing pretty good. It's still decently warm in the car. No big deal here. And so yeah, the snowflake is still there, and there is more juice in that battery than the 2%. So let's see here. So if you can see that there's that blue. So the red is my 2%, and then I got the blue. I'm not sure if it's gonna allow me to use the blue, but I'm pretty sure it will, because it knows I just need to get home, and at home is a charger. So I may have some other restrictions. I can see right now I got only about, yeah, maybe 60% power available, and then power is limited. But we're going. We're still at 2%, and we got the heat set to 60. It says auto defogging, which seems to work. I can see out the windshield. So we're doing good. Let's see how far we can go here. It is minus 9 degrees Fahrenheit, and so it's a little rough road right here. That is usually a dirt road. Now it's a snow road. We're going 25 miles an hour now, and we got 1.1 mile to go. We're at 1%. It switched here maybe a half a mile ago or something. Whoa. So, but oh, we're still doing good. The heat is still on, set to 60 now. So the windows are defogged, and I can actually turn the heat back off because I don't really need it. It's not cold in the car. The sun helps definitely keeping it nice, but so, oh man, this road, well, we should make it 0.8 miles. We'll probably cruise in at home with 0%, but we still got that blue. So that is the interesting part. I wonder if it's gonna give me that blue or not, or what it will do. I mean, one would think it will, and not let me be stranded. So, but we'll keep cruising. 0.6 miles to go. Approaching home right here, so I cranked the heat back up right now because we're home. We still show 1%, no problem. So this car I know pretty well, so I can push it quite a bit, unlike with the Chevy Bolt EUV that I was not too familiar with, so I wouldn't know how much it takes to run out. But this car I know pretty well, so this was no problem here. We got 1% left plus whatever is blue, so no big deal. We are home. Here we go. Oh yeah. And what? A car? A person or what? I don't know what the hell this is seeing here. It's funny, but we're home, and it just switched to 0%, but we're here. It's a beautiful day today. We made it home, 0%, but we're here. That's all that matters. And both cars are happy down there. They're both plugged in now, and the one we drove is charging. So everything is good. Got a little snow, nice big old icicles up there. And our rain chain here is, well, I guess an ice chain. So pretty cool. Yeah. So again, it's real easy to extend your range by just going slower. The speed is what kills it most. And road conditions are almost next, I would say. Driving on snow is a pretty big killer because it takes a lot of effort to get through there. But speed is definitely the first. Tires are minimal. Weight is not so much either. So mostly speed and road conditions is what takes your range away. So by going slower, you can always gain. Turning the heater off will gain some, but really not that much, because depending on what heater you have, especially if you have a heat pump, it uses relatively little. So that will probably be the last resort. So for me, it was kind of unsure here with the low temperature, so I set it a little bit lower, and that worked fine. So anyway, this was all not planned at all today. I didn't plan on going out and driving. If I would have done the whole thing a little bit different. Preconditioned the car, had it at 100% for the day, because obviously you're losing range with the cold. There's no doubt about it. But I didn't really plan on it, so what the heck. It worked out just fine. I made some money. It was fun doing this video. I hope you enjoyed it, so please give us a thumbs up for this video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any other future videos. We got a whole bunch of winter driving videos already, so with the Chevy Bolt, with the Teslas, so go look at them if you want to know more about winter driving, how to, what to, and so on. We got a whole bunch of them, so go look at those. Some of them are obviously from last winter or even the winter before. So, but yeah, You can learn a whole bunch of stuff because we're exposed to many different situations. And just like today, sometimes I push it a little. And well, there was the one with the Bolt DUV where I pushed it a little too hard, I guess. But it was all fine. So also, go down below into the description and click on our link to the Redbubble store and go check out our merch there. EV inspired merch. Maybe you find something that you like. So, in any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.